Jason Price here. I've been asked to create a training video for faculty members that are going to help out Student Central. I suspect that y'all will probably be in there the week before the semester starts, and really that's designed to lessen the burden on Student Central. And there are certain things that only Student Central can do when they're dealing with new students. And so I'm going to cover a little bit of this. Now, what I've got right here is the document checklist that they use to make sure for the individual students. And if you're a faculty member, the first thing that you absolutely need to do is, as soon as you see somebody come up the stairs, you need to greet them and find out what they're there for. There's a number of things. If they just need to pay, that's something that they can do inside their student portal. They can go to the business office to do. If they haven't done a single thing, then there's no point in them talking to Student Central, because they'll have to do their application and get their bacterial meningitis vaccination records and all those kind of things. And I've got another document here on page 2 that's the guidelines, that Student Central use and the steps that students have to do, for college. So when you're up there, essentially your job is to do scheduling. And you can look at this checklist and see where they're at in the process, because inevitably whenever you come in, whenever a student comes in, they're going to say they're here to register. Okay, so if they're here to register, well, you need to find out exactly what they may want to take classes. But the week that the school starts, you're always going to run into the problem where you have students that have no idea what they're doing, that just woke up that morning and decided that they were going to come to school that day and sign up for classes, and haven't even done anything, haven't looked into anything. So as you can see from this, the first thing that they need to do is fill out an application. If they haven't done that, you can sit them down at one of the computers and they can go through that process and take care of it. The permission release form, that's the privacy issues, so they don't have to fill that out, but if they want us to release information to their parents, they'll have to sign it out. They need a high school transcript or GED, either one, and unofficials are fine for registration. Eventually we'll have to have officials. They need their college transcript if they've taken college anywhere else before. They need assessment scores. If they have a GED, it's automatic. They have to take all 3 sections of the AccuPlacer. If they've got a high school degree, a high school diploma, and they went to school in Texas, then the tax scores still apply. 2,200 is the threshold, and a 3 on the writing. If they're not a U.S. citizen, we have to have the residency affidavit. We have to have their immunization records. So the bacterial meningitis vaccination form, they need to have that. If they're between 18 and 30, they cannot schedule classes, period, until they have that or they've filled out a waiver form if they need to change schedules. So you'll probably get this document from Student Central. And so it's very important whenever the students come in, we want it to be inviting, an inviting environment for them. We don't, most of the time they're scared half to death as it is anyway. To come up and do this. So make sure that you're addressing students, see what they need, because there's no point if all they need to do is pay or something like that, or need a transcript, we can send them somewhere else. They don't have to be in Student Central. So we're just trying to make sure that nobody has to wait. Now, what I'm going to show you here is the Student Central guideline to college, and these are the steps that they use. And so when a student just off the street, hasn't done anything, comes in, this is the step-by-step process to register for somebody. So faculty members, you don't have the ability to put people in classes, you don't have the ability to scan in the documents when you come up here, you don't have the ability to do a number of things. So primarily you are here for the students that have done everything else already, and all they need to do is schedule classes. You can schedule classes. You can fill out their schedule cards and give that to them, and that saves Student Central from having to do that, so they can deal with the students that are just now coming in and haven't done anything or haven't spoken with a counselor yet. Now, of course, you can still do some chats, but If a student walks right in and hasn't done a single thing, instead of just having them sit there and wait to talk to Student Central, you can say, okay, well, if you haven't done anything, the first step is to go to our website on the front page and apply for admission. So, they can be filling that out while they're waiting on, to talk to Judy or Megan, either one. They're going to have a high school transcript or GED. So if they don't have proof of either one of those things after they fill out their application for admission, you can tell them, hey, you're going to have to go get this before you can do anything else. Okay, so there's no point in somebody sitting around waiting to talk to Judy or Megan, because you can just tell them that yourself. And of course, I should be around, with the exception of other training things and meetings that I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to be helping as much as I can, but I'm also going to be answering switchboard and those kind of things. But, there are 3 things that the students have to do before we can even consider putting them in classes, and that's fill out the application for admission, provide an official high school transcript or GED and any college transcripts, and they have to provide the proof of bacterial meningitis vaccination from the form that's under the Students tab on the FPC website. And those 3 things, if they don't have them, there's no point in them sitting in line and waiting to talk to Judy or Megan, because we're going to have those before we can schedule classes, before we can do anything. So, and if they have one of those 2, that's great. They can leave the documents and we can scan them in later. They don't have to stand in line, documents in hand, just to wait, for that. If they wanted to, they could fill out the FAFSA while they wait. Now, they don't have to apply for the FAFSA or scholarships if they're paying out of pocket and don't think they're going to qualify, but most of our students are going to need some sort of financial assistance. So applying for, once you have them, the application, and if they've got, their documents with them and they haven't filled out the FAFSA, you can have them do that while we're waiting on them to meet with Judy and Megan and scan those things in. In addition, if they're looking to live on campus, you can have them go to our website and fill out the apply for housing form. So, and of course that requires a $150 deposit as well. So that's the list of things that most students do before they even sit down and meet with Judy or Megan and tell them what sort of classes they want to take and what they want to do. So, if a student has already done all this and they just come in the week before and need to schedule classes, that's where you come in, faculty. So that's where you can help alleviate the problem. You can schedule the classes and fill out a schedule card and then have them come see Judy and Megan, and they can put it in the system and, create the bill and all that kind of stuff. But, so anyways, once they've met with somebody in Student Central or anybody that could schedule classes, we get them registered for the class and print off the bill and all those kind of things and get them a schedule so they'll know where their classes are going to be. If they need to pay, and the last day to pay tends to be the Friday before the semester starts, so that would put it at Friday, August the 23rd. They can do that from inside their student portal if they're going to use a credit card. Student Central can take payments. Usually Jen Ogans comes over and helps. She's taken payments in the past, and the business office can take payments. Okay, so they could, if they're going to meet with somebody like that, they can do those kind of things, but they can also do it from the comfort of their own home, so they wouldn't have to wait around and do that. They're going to have to purchase their books, and to do that, the book list should be posted by then, so you can print off copies of that, and we may very well have copies of that waiting for them, but it's going to show up inside of their student portal as well. So once they've done that, and then of course paying for tuition and fees and showing up for class. So faculty, essentially what we need you for is figuring out where the student is in the registration process. If there's something on this list that you can do, or if you can ascertain, then by all means do it, because we don't want long lines of students just having to sit and wait and then be told, well, we can't do anything for them anyway because they don't have a bacterial meningitis vaccination or a transcript. But we'll have all the lists of everything available for you, and you know, I'm going to send this out, assuming that everything that I've said meets with Student Central's approval. But any questions you have, any comments, anything, if you would like videos on something else, we can certainly do that. But just keep in mind what they're going to have before we can even put them in classes. And this is just designed to make things more efficient up here. All right, well, we appreciate your help, everything that you do, you know, not only teaching classes, but, you know, I know the week before the semester starts is very hectic for faculty, especially with all the training that you're going to be doing and trying to get ready for your own classes. So we greatly appreciate any help that you can provide us. Thanks.